Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy back with the Chris and Sandy Show where we get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said on every of us, we got a great show for you. Who do we have?
Yes, we have Meredith Blis. She is an award-winning singer-songwriter, pianist, and composer. The multi-genre artist, originality and artistry are a reflection of her real-life experiences and emotions. She embraces her diverse musical influences ranging from Bach to jazz to modern electronica.
And not only do we have her, but we're premiering
Oh, yes.
her video, the Zero Gravity lyric video today too in a few minutes. So you're going to get to see that for the very first time aired anywhere but here first.
So excited about that.
So as we get started, tell us a little bit about that song in this video.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me. And thanks for premiering the video. I'm so thrilled to share this. The song itself is about finding your happy place. So often in life, we get caught in this go, 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 go. And we lose the direction of where we're going.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you get that.
Yes. We get it.
And zero gravity is about taking a step outside of everything and sort of enabling a deeper connection with self and finding a space that enables you to embrace more joy and be able to be more peaceful.
Love that.
Love it.
So, as they say, let's get the show on the road. Here is the world premiere of Zero Gravity.
Zero gravity, I could float free. So much to do, too many things weighing me down. So many voices telling me I gotta keep my feet on the ground. Ain't no life thread needs something to keep me from falling. Zero gravity, I could float free. Zero gravity, I could be me. Galaxy spinning around, nothing to hold me down. Zero gravity. Thinking I could be fearless, give me a chance, I'll take that risk. Like a star beyond a spaceship, I'd fly weightless. Zero gravity, I could float free. Zero gravity, I could be me. Galaxy spinning around, nothing to hold me down. Zero gravity. Lift my clouds, free and easy. Looking down, find me, see clearly. Zero gravity, I could float free. Zero gravity, I could be me. Zero gravity,
That was awesome.
Yes.
Gotta love the little mute button. It's like I forgot to hit the mute.
Totally. I've been there.
But
Yeah.
really, really great
Yes,
video.
awesome. We loved it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just
So,
Mhm.
so tell us a little bit about your background because we know you're part of a musical family. So tell us about that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I grew up, in a musical household. My father was actually, oh my gosh, we just got a comment. Hi, Jonelle. Sorry. Um, Jonelle was actually the vocal producer on that track.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, no problem.
You asked about the background. Oh, yes. My father was an executive at Arista Records.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Wow.
In the music business, going to work with him, listening to new releases. And in addition, my mother's mother, my maternal grandmother, was a pianist and a singer, and she was also a piano teacher.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I definitely grew up around music that way. Mm-hmm.
So what was it like seeing it from the executive point of view since your dad was an executive? Because, a lot of people who are artists, they want to judge a lot of times the executives, but they got a job to do just like you do. And sometimes they don't
Yeah.
see that side of it.
Yes, and my dad had a reputation for being pretty fierce with what he did. Feared. But he was in charge of packaging and manufacturing, which is everything that happened to the record at that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Came out of the studio, gathering all the art, getting it printed and distribution and all that kind of stuff. I think your question was, what was that like? I think I absorbed a lot that I didn't realize about art in the process of the behind the scenes, I guess, of what goes into it. It's not just all stage and lights and glitter. There's like a whole, I don't know, army behind people.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
The details happen. Yeah.
And that's a perfect lead in for where I wanted us to go next. As you know, a lot of people, they see the glory of like a Blake Shelton, of a Miranda, of a Carey, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles that it takes not to even be at their level, but even a career level within the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want to talk about that side of it because I think so many people kind of sugarcoat this side of it. But I want to know what have been some of the struggles and sacrifices you have made to even get to where you are.
I mean, it's working round the clock, right? And like we were talking about in terms of what goes into making a record, it's months, years of work. You have the process of honing your craft. You have the process of creating the song or the music, then into the studio, and then all the other things like graphic design and, making it all happen. I think it's, yeah, putting all that time in, which is such a passion,
And not knowing if it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Because see, that's got to be the hardest part. Because like even with us, we're doing, we're in the same platform like y'all. You're just different place. We're trying to chase that same dream. We want to be the Bobby Bones, the Kelly Clarkson shows of the world,
Absolutely.
but as a married couple. And so we're chasing the same dream a lot of artists are. So we get what y'all go through because we do this and do that and do like we were talking before the show. All this crazy little setup that we just did, all brand new stuff, and it's like trying to balance all this. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the moments that people don't see. I was my brain went back to days in New York City where I was living, in a walk-up, and I'm a keyboard player.
Oh,
So
wow.
going
Wow.
to a gig meant dragging that down the stairs. And I remember once, New York City, keyboard in hand, standing on the street, pouring rain,
Oh,
and
wow.
like trying to hail a cab and saying to yourself, oh, but I don't think I'd have it any other way in
Right.
some respects, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we definitely get that because again, we've put a lot of work in this, and and then on top of that, COVID happens.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
So how has that changed things for you?
It's been a really interesting year for me. I think it's been an interesting year for everybody.
Yes. Yes.
um, Interestingly, I needed the slowdown when, the first quarantine type situation happened.
Mhm.
Not having to run around and be here and be there and do all the things really was a blessing because I,
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't realize how much I needed that slowdown.
Yeah.
And one of the things that also did for me was it enabled me to think more deeply about priorities and what I was doing that I wanted to be doing or not doing, that I wanted to be focusing on. When everything was more still, I had some self-reflection time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things was working on this EP that's in process. So I was able to reassess some things and also have the time and space to expand upon that work.
Wow.
Wow.
Love that. For us, it kind of did the opposite effect because we
Yeah.
launched our show January of 2020. And our original plan was 100 interviews our first year. We thought if we could do that,
I thought that would be a lot.
and we
to do
thought
the
that would
first
be
year.
pushing it. And then COVID happens.
Yes.
And we watched the whole entertainment industry just crash. Just all of a sudden, like you said, it slowed everybody down. And I told Sandy, I was like, now we can book people we normally couldn't book, I bet. Because everybody needs a place to talk, and we're going to give it to them. And because of that, we did over 300 interviews last year. We're over 400 interviews now. So for us, it was like a silver lining. It helped some of the people slow down so they could come on our show.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's strange how, what do they say, when God closes a door, he opens a window, But that kind of thing, we have to sometimes look for the silver lining and
Yes.
blessings where we don't expect them, which is beautiful.
Now let's flip the script the other way and talk about some of the great things. When you look back on your career so far, what are some moments where like you went, wow?
Probably the first thing that comes to mind was is the New Mexico Music Awards.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I lived in New Mexico. I left New York, lived in New Mexico, and now Tennessee, outside of Nashville or in Nashville. And my first CD had multiple nominations, which floored me. And I won Best Pop CD. And I remember going up and, I knew the records that I was up against, and it was just like, who did they say? Was that me?
Wow.
Oh, and then a few years later, with my second record, being nominated for multiple awards and having the opportunity to perform there was really great.
Wow.
Awesome.
That made me think. I remember hearing a story of Steve Harvey, and he was talking about his very first comic stand-up he went to. He didn't go to enter. He entered for the following week because he first learned about that. And apparently they have 10 people that come up, and the 10th person left. So they called the first person in the list, and he talks about how they said, Steve, if you're here, Steve Harvey, you're up. And he said he literally looked at his friend and says, somebody else is named Steve Harvey doing this.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
And that moment changed his life because that moment showed him that, you know what, this is what I was supposed to do. When you look at moments like that, do you have a moment that just changed everything?
Well, you know, when I think back on being a musician and making music, it was always like right in front of me, but it was the memo that took me a really long time to get. Yeah, it was just like, hello, this is it, this is it. But my first career passion dream was actually dance. I was a dancer.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Yeah.
yeah, modern dancer. And that was, I was, as I said, I was playing instruments and singing and doing all the things. And my father was in the music business, so I was constantly surrounded. But it wasn't until multiple knee surgeries and which
Wow.
Wow.
which sort of ended the dance thing for good. And when you talk about a moment, I remember I'm a huge Sarah McLachlan fan.
Mhm.
You know, her first big record, Fumbling Towards Ecstasy, if that had been a record, I would have worn it out. And, and I remember reading the liner notes, and it said, you know, songs by Sarah McLachlan, guitar, piano, Sarah McLachlan, vocals, Sarah McLachlan. And I was like, wow, she does it all. And that's possible. Like,
Yeah.
just a moment of, whoa, it's possible. You know, I
Right.
don't know. It just,
Wow.
something clicked in that moment, reading those liner notes.
Yeah, that's like I remember the very first show we did, January 3rd, 2020. That we had Ava Page and Ashlyn Grace on that day.
Ashlyn, what a
Yep, both of them are awesome.
They are.
And in
yes,
fact,
they are.
Ashlyn's done several things with us, which has been
She
really
has,
cool.
yes.
But they both were on, and I remember we got off the 2 interviews, and I told Sandy, "This is it. This is what we're supposed to do," and I just knew it.
Yeah, finding that moment in that thing that makes your heart skip a beat. And earlier you were talking about, you know, struggles and sacrifice. Yes, it's there, but when you're focused on creating your passion, it's okay. You know, it's
Yep.
okay because you're
So,
chasing your magic.
most definitely. So, as you know, a lot of people they see the artist, but they don't see the teams that make up the artist. And in our opinion,
Right.
they don't get the love they deserve.
No.
So, if you want to take a few moments just to tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
I would love to give my team all the love in the world because I am just so grateful in this moment to be surrounded by such amazing people. If you talk about the lyric video, it was done by somebody named Cameron Barton, who is also an unbelievable musician. And just what he did with taking the song and making it live in this graphic visual environment, I was wowed. I'm still wowed when I look at it. For this particular track, Sean Trueblood was the producer, and I really want to share this story about Sean. He and I met when he was at Belmont, and he, quote unquote, interned for me. It's so weird to say that now. Yeah, learning about sync placement. And part of his degree was audio engineering, which you can clearly hear, and production. And I'm also an audio nerd too. So often we would hang out and just be listening to songs, and I'd be hearing his work. And I loved what he was doing. And after some time, I just said, do you mind, you know, would you be interested in maybe doing a track for me? Because I knew that we had discussed music and production and a lot of depth together. And he also knew the catalog better than anybody because he had done the metadata and tagging for sync for everything.
Oh, wow.
And he knew me, and he said, sure, I'll give it a try. So I sent him to a Dropbox folder with demos, and he chose Zero Gravity. That was actually the first one. Yeah. And he came back to me, and I'd been looking for somebody to kind of manifest this whatever I was hearing in my brain. And once again, I was wowed.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And then beyond that, there's an engineer, vocal production engineer, and also, studio engineer named Jonelle Polanski. She was the one who popped in before with a hello. She's just been an inspiring force in my life, and I did the vocals at her studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did the vocal production. The mix engineer on this one, Ghost Effects. It's interesting because in the time of COVID, we've never met.
Wow.
Yes. And all of our interaction has been emails and stuff. And he really did an amazing job with the song, and also dealing with the process and online, and dealing with with edits and all the things. I also think of people like Cherise Voltori, a global songwriter.
Yeah.
Such light. And of course, the incredible, amazing Sherry Cranford.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we love her.
We do love her.
Yes, so much love to her. And also my better half, Tony. He's also a musician, but being surrounded by people who really support you. And I'm just really blessed to have a great team.
And that's key. It's not just having a team, but it's having a team that understands your vision. Because
Team.
that's been the biggest thing I see in music is people get teams, but then the team don't want their vision. They want their own vision. It's like, no, do the artist's vision.
Yes,
that's what's
align
important.
with the artist.
Yeah, and that was the blessing of meeting Sean. I had worked with other producers, and a lot of them, all of them amazing. And somehow Sean got what I was hearing in this little brain. So finding the right person who takes the time to listen to you and manifest, I guess, your vision or your magic. And ideally also, I think a good producer takes that and takes it to his, a level higher,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely love that. And that's so important. And speaking of teams, we have a third co-host.
What? Yes, we do.
Our little 9-year-old we let come on.
9-year-old.
So Sandy's going to go get him.
I will get it.
And we've got a 2-year-old little daughter that when she gets older, she'll be plugged into our show too, because we are a family affair.
A family affair.
It's funny. We even made the name Family Affair Media for the show.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great.
So hopefully we can raise them in the entertainment world and they can take over Family Affair Media one day.
Yes. And where are you all? Y'all are in Florida?
Right now we're in Savannah, Georgia, but we're eventually moving out to Nashville.
What? Welcome.
In fact, we're coming. We visited for the very first time not long ago, and we're coming back June 5th for 4 days, and then we're coming back again June 29th for like 7 days.
Oh my gosh. Well, we look forward to having you, and you know where to find me. Hello.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi. What's your name?
My name's Christopher.
Christopher, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, what's your favorite food?
I think I'd have to say pizza.
Ooh. Because what's yours?
Pizza.
What? Brilliant mind. Like, so do we.
They could eat pizza all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
I kind of joke that we should get like a Little Caesars sponsor so that he can say, because that's what we usually eat is a Little Caesar anyway. You get him as a sponsor and he would be able to legitimately say, I like Little Caesars.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Are you up for that, eating pizza all day?
Yeah.
He would.
I'll join you. And I'll tell you.
Okay, so what's your favorite TV show?
we talked about this last year being more relaxed during COVID. I've watched a lot of series. The one that comes to me right now was The Queen's Gambit.
Hmm.
It was a show about based on the life of a professional female chess player.
Oh, wow.
When I was your age, Christopher,
Mm-mm.
ever seen The Muppets? Do you like The Muppet Show?
I haven't watched it.
You
Yeah, he went-
haven't? Okay.
Because what's yours?
Yeah. Mine's SpongeBob.
Oh, cartoons. Cartoons are the best. Is SpongeBob your favorite character?
My favorite character is Patrick.
Oh, okay. What? Sure.
That's-
I know he's some sort of sea creature.
yeah,
Yes.
Sea Star, right?
Yes, Sea Star.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's the
and last year he dressed up as SpongeBob for Halloween.
Whoa, that must have been fun.
Yes.
And what's been cool about it is he watches a lot of the Nickelodeon shows.
Oh,
So
yes, yes.
we've been able to bring on a lot of the actors that are on his shows onto our show.
Whoa. Do you have a favorite Nickelodeon show? Well, I guess SpongeBob is Nickelodeon. I don't know.
Yes.
What's your other favorite show? I mean,
What other ones you like?
All of them probably.
Because he's starting to like Disney ones too.
Ooh, yeah, Disney's good. I like
Yes.
Disney.
Okay, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie. There are two that come to mind. One would be Good Will Hunting, and the other one would be The Theory of Everything. Both of them are probably a little grown up for you, but they're very inspiring.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're really based on true stories. Really inspiring, amazing people. Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
Mine is the Minions movie.
The Minions. Oh my gosh, how many Minions movies were there?
there was 3 Despicable Me's, right? And 1
Yes.
Minions.
So 4
Yes.
right now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like 3 Despicable Me's and 1 Minions.
Oh my gosh, they're taking over.
Yes.
Be careful.
Bye, thanks.
Bye, Chris. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So awesome.
Yeah, he definitely loves that. You know, when he comes on the show.
Cool. He's practicing his camera time.
Yeah, he'll have no problem getting on and talking.
Oh, yeah.
For when he takes over the family affair, he'll be all dialed in.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Wow. Narrowed that down. I think the 2 people that come to mind first would be Diane Warren.
Oh wow.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. And all we need to say is that name. And interestingly enough, Tori Amos.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a big influence, I guess, as a chick singer-songwriter when I
Mm.
started playing and singing and doing all the things, and I just find her magical. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now this probably has 1,000 answers, but
Oh,
just
yes,
think
at
of the
least.
first thing that pops in your head. What is a song that you've heard you wish you wrote?
well, come back to Diane Warren. I Was Here. Oh, the one that Beyonce did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yes.
Sorry. Yeah. So I guess that would be an answer.
That is
Oh,
awesome.
love it.
So back,
Warren, yeah.
so back in 2015, we interviewed Kelsey Ballerini
Mhm.
before most people kind of knew who she was.
Right.
And one of the questions I asked is where she wanted to be in 5 years. I always like to tell this story before I ask the guests that same question, because the answer she gave us back then is almost to the T of what she's living now.
Oh,
So
definitely. Yes.
she knew where she was going and
Had
nothing was
planned
going to
out.
stop her. So knowing that, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Well, we can never predict everything. We can just
Yeah, because who could have predicted
follow the
COVID?
plan and
True.
end up in the right place. But yes, the first things that come to mind is over the past few years, I've been doing a lot more studio stuff, production, and I'd like to be producing more myself and maybe
Mhm.
other artists. I've also been working on a electronic show where
wow.
you
Oh, okay.
Ableton Live and MIDI
Yeah.
controllers, and
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
it's become such a passion of mine. So definitely doing more of that, and also playing out more and doing that with bigger audiences. And the other thing would be I've done a lot of activism work, and I really just believe in the power of art and music and creativity to make a difference for people.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, using that platform and being involved with projects like that. Yeah.
Awesome. And how would you describe your music to someone who hasn't heard it yet?
Well, it's such an interesting question, especially being in Nashville. You know,
Yes.
you heard the track. This girl is in country. I love country music, but it's like,
Right.
yeah. So I would have to start with pop. I mean,
Okay.
pop would be the general
Yeah.
umbrella, but you know, ethereal pop as well as electro pop. So
Yeah.
my website says ethereal electro pop.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that fits it very well.
Thank
Right.
you. It's a
And
hard
what would you like your legacy to be as an artist? What would you ultimately like to be known and remembered for?
You know, back to the whole idea about creativity and healing and music making a difference and creating connection between people and uplifting the vibration that we have, and yeah, setting an example for, I think, bringing light to people,
Uh,
just,
yeah.
yeah, just a spark, especially in moments when people need it most. Yeah.
Love that.
Love it.
So as we come to a close here, let's say you had a friend of yours and you heard him or her sing, and they have something special. As Simon Cowell said, they have that it factor. And let's say they've played maybe 40 or 50 shows, so they're still getting their feet wet on the performance side. Now, this would be pre-COVID advice,
Oh, yes.
so keep that in mind. But they played, and they've got what every artist says, that stage bug, where they get up on stage, they look over the crowd's roaring for them. They just know they're in the right place. And they come to you and they say, I know I am supposed to do this with the rest of my life. What advice would you give that specific person to kind of help guide them the next few years?
There are a couple things. I think the first is, know your craft and hone your craft, and keep working on that piece of it. Keep going deeper. The other piece would be trust your instinct. Trust your intuition. Where's I going with that? Trust your intuition. The word no is something that artists have to sort of build.
Get familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, a callus to hearing. And don't let that stop you. Keep going and be open to taking helpful feedback, but most importantly, probably surround yourself with people who you can trust.
Mhm.
In entertainment, there can be this dark layer.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you choose to work with someone, do your research, be careful, and that
Mhm.
to this intuition thing. We know in our gut when something.
Yep. Most definitely.
We do.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think really surrounding yourself with people who believe in you genuinely.
And speaking of rejection, that's like even for this show, because we sent out emails to the teams of even people like Taylor Swift, Brad Pitt,
Oh, yes. All of them.
all of them. And we do this on a constant basis, so we get probably over 100 rejection emails a month easily.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
but you know what? But then every now and then you get something that all of a sudden comes through because like we've got on May 26th.
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
We have Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys and his family coming on.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so you just keep on it and keep on it, and eventually you get the little breakthroughs here, and all of a sudden this happens and that happens, and then all of a sudden things start to roll.
Exactly. Don't give up. I mean, I hear stories from friends and we read them all the time of, people who've been shopping songs for years and everybody says no, or, songs have been rejected, like flat out, and people will roll their eyes at a certain artist and say, don't quit your job, or nobody will ever want this song. And
Right.
we know how the rest of the story goes, right? So,
Well, look at Luke Combs. I think a couple of years ago, he tweeted out thanking the executives that all said 6 of his songs would never work, and all 6 went #1.
I love it. I mean, I don't love it because those moments hurt, but
Right, they do
learning
at the time.
to pick yourself back up and, really keep on it and believing in yourself and your work and
Yeah, we appreciate that.
going.
Oh, yes.
For y'all too. And after it's just every no brings you closer to a yes, right?
Most definitely.
It does.
Because again, that's something I've learned. I've been in sales most of my life, doing different stuff. We've probably launched over 100 different business ideas that never worked,
That failed,
but many of it made us enough money to keep us going through our 18 years of marriage. But they all failed until we got here, and so it's like rejection was no big deal. So me reaching out to a Taylor Swift. All her team can do is say no
or not
and,
answer.
and some of these big artists and big actors that we have reached out didn't say no as in never. They've said right now no, but I've got several people I'm supposed to reach back over the next few months that could still be a possibility. So that's as our show keeps growing and we keep bringing people like Backstreet Boys and you and with your background and Randy Travis and other people that we've had on the show, all of a sudden now people look at it and they're like, okay, they're doing something. I mean, it's just us. It's just us too. And we are the team.
Grassroots. It's grassroots as you get.
Yeah. And also learning that, like, you said businesses that might not have gone the way you wanted them to, but they did. Because they landed.
We learned.
Right there on the Chris and Sandy.
And now we're here.
Sandy, right? If that couldn't happen.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things, we laugh about this now, but through the 18 years of our marriage, I mean, we would be out in the street, and if we run into somebody, I'm not talking about friend now, I'm talking about strangers. I would end up if I'm in a conversation 2, 3 to 5 minutes in, Sandy would know we're probably there 60 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes.
Oh, I always knew.
And she would get so mad sometimes. She'd roll her eyes sometimes, and I'd done that thousands and thousands of times in our 18 years. And now we laugh because we're like, that prepared us for what we're doing.
Yeah, talking to all those different people.
I mean, because we talked to thousands of people through the years, and here it is. We've talked to 400 people at a high level on our show now.
Yeah.
You've been an interviewer in training.
Just never knew it.
You just didn't know at the time.
You found your niche because this is what you love to do. Is meet new people and talk to them. That's awesome.
Yes.
I can't imagine anything else.
Yeah, always fun and always interesting.
And it's really cool because her passion has always been music. My passion has always been speaking. So we've been able to find a way to combine our passions as a married couple to build one legacy under.
Absolutely.
So great. Sandy, are you a musician as well?
I dabble in lyric writing. I love to write song lyrics.
Her and I have actually written over 300 sets of lyrics over the years.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So we love to do that.
Yeah, I love lyric writing.
That's awesome.
And we've had a few musicians add music to it and have come out really good. on
And
a few
maybe
songs.
we'll still learn an instrument someday. We haven't got
The ultimate
around to
goal
it
is
yet.
eventually learn an instrument,
Yeah,
and
so
then we can
put
try to
music to that.
and see what happens
Yeah,
down the road.
see
But
what happens.
that could be another thing with the show is the show could be bigger than what we think, where it gives us the right connections for
Yeah.
that, gives us the right connections for little Chris and Caitlin
Oh,
down the
because
road.
he's a huge
Because
music
he's a
lover
huge
too.
music lover too. So
Yes,
you know,
he is.
once we move to Nashville, we're planning on getting him guitar lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah, drum lessons. He wants to play the drums and the guitar. He said.
You're not gonna believe.
That's
You're not going to
awesome.
believe what made him want to play drums. We kind of,
We've got a
if
crazy
he's
story with that.
if he ends up being a big drummer one day, we kind of owe Dirk Bentley this.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Because what had happened was our first
Mhm.
night was in Nashville.
First night ever.
First night
any
ever.
of us. We've never been.
We're
to
walking
Nashville
down Broadway. We're about to cross Broadway. We're in front of Honky Tonk Central,
Mhm.
and somebody, whoever was playing on that band in Honky Tonk Central,
Yeah, one of the
seen little
guys.
Chris on the
Mhm.
sidewalk and told somebody, "Can you give this drumstick to that boy?"
Oh my
So-
god.
Yeah, because he was watching them
So
play.
they come out, and we thought that was the coolest thing. I mean,
Oh,
we
it's
thought that was
drumstick,
cool. We
yeah.
had no idea where that was about to lead.
Then we crossed the street. Yeah.
And then we get in front of Dirk Bentley's row,
Mhm.
and we're listening to the band there. And the woman singer looked at the little Chris, and she seen that he had a drumstick in his hand,
And he was intently.
and he was
watching
intently
the music.
watching them and all that.
Yeah,
She
watching the band
stops
play,
the
yeah.
music, gets down, and asks him, "Would you like to play drums with us for a song?"
Oh my goodness.
So they pulled him up
Pulled him
on
through the
stage,
window.
through the window on
Yeah.
stage, and we got pictures and videos of this.
We
But
do.
and let him. They were showing him how to play the drums while they sing a song, and now he wants to be a
In
drummer.
front of a couple hundred people that were cheering for
I mean,
him. So
they
he's
had
got
everybody
the
cheering for him. And
bug
everything.
now.
So as a 9-year-old, he's on stage, never played the drums, on there hitting the drums with them, and he's like staged it now.
Oh yes, he said he wants back on the stage now.
Oh my god, I love it. A drummer is born.
Yeah.
Right?
If that does happen,
He'll have a cool
he'll have
story.
one heck of a story for how it
Yes.
happened.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That is crazy. Yes.
And again, that's one of them things where you're in the right place because we've been,
Yeah,
we
can't predict
we
that.
want to move to Nashville, but there's always that in back of your mind: are we supposed to be there? Because I want to do what God wants us to
Yeah.
do. And all of a sudden, you have something like that kind of seals the deal for us. Okay, we're supposed to be
Like,
here.
this is it.
Wow. Yeah, totally. You get the signs, and for you connecting with people to, write songs if you have time because your show
Yes,
is planned. You
absolutely.
too,
Yep.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what we're hoping.
hooked up with drums and, guitar.
You just never know.
Never know what the future holds.
And and speaking of what's one last piece of advice you'd like to give the audience in general?
Right.
Maybe your fans. What
Yes,
message would you like to tell them?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think of, this new EP that I've been working on, the title track, which was released. It's been released sort of as a stream of singles.
Okay.
And the first single was called Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, what was funny was this is digressing a little, but doing a show, and it was yeah. And I went to the ladies' room, and there's this little sign on the wall. It was like a little painting, and it said, "Be your own kind of beautiful." It's like, wow, I
Wow.
pull up the notebook and write, "I love that" as a title.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
And I just love the message of that. So often we twist and conform to fit into spaces where we're not meant to be. And
Right.
learning, I guess, who you are, and then giving yourself permission to be that person, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what would you be? Who would you be if you didn't care about anyone else's opinion?
Exactly.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah. I think, It is.
I love that. So as we come to a close here, how can people reach out to you and buy your stuff?
Well, my website is meredithblis.com. And so you can always go there and you can sign up for my email list there and hear some music, watch some videos. My blog is also there. I tend to regularly write missives to my fans and mailing lists, usually inspirational kind of article. In addition to sharing what's up with me musically. And in terms of social media, the best place to find me is Instagram. That's sort of my, that's sort of my lane. I am on Facebook, I am on Twitter, but Instagram is my lane. And always feel free to reach out, say hello, DM, send an email. And
Love that.
I'm meeting new people. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed having you on the show
We
today.
did.
And we look forward to having you back down the road.
Oh, that would be a joy. And it's been just so wonderful to meet you both and spend some time with you this afternoon. Thanks for having me.
We love it too.
Oh, same here. We enjoyed it.
Have a great day.
All right.